Hello everyone, this is gonna be another review here on the channel, and this time it was gonna be for Weird West. Now, Weird West is very unique in its gameplay systems, but it's also in how it wants the main plot points to evolve throughout its 30-hour each campaign. As I mentioned in my early thoughts video, Weird West main plot point is divided throughout 5 chapters, or journeys as they call it here, in which you will take control of a branded character, and every time you take control, new story hints will come to the surface. If you remember the Dishonored and Prey games, these games always have a mystery factor, something that you cannot really tell that's embedded deep within the game systems that made these games super fun and immersive. It's not a surprise to see Weird West as that same vibe, since the director is none other than Rafael Colantonio, one of the directors for Dishonored and Prey. So we'll see how Weird West does across the different rateable sections across the board, right? Let's see. Now, for NPCs and characters, I'll start out by saying that there is absolutely no voice acting in Weird West. It's understandable, as this is all in all an indie. Characters will basically speak gibberish whenever there are dialogue lines. However, this doesn't detract much from the quality of the characters' dialogue and overall NPC lines. The main cast of characters will be those you take control over the different journeys that happen in the game. So as soon as the bounty hunter journey ends, you can recruit her to your posse, as they call it here, or your party. There is some dialogue as you are traveling to the map or exploring a specific location, even in combat. The whole game revolves around this type of mark or brand, which is the one peculiar thing that's connecting all the playable characters. It's very interesting, as the whole plot is about occult and immortality themes, and as you journey across the Weird West, you'll meet relevant characters that will make you closer to your goal, and shed some light on what's happening to you. The cast of characters isn't too big, and due to the immersive sim nature of the game, most characters you meet in towns and even side quests are randomly generated by the game. So, dialogue is a bit forgettable and uninspired in these situations. Overall, I was thoroughly impressed in the focus given to each one of the playable characters, their backgrounds, their motivations and stories, but aside from 2 or 3 other characters, it seems the game dialogue is very pure, like all effort was put into the main core of characters cast. Not that it's a bad thing, it just overshadows any other dialogue that you'll have with random characters in different towns. This puts us in the story department. I feel like I have spoken a lot about the story in previous sections and my early thoughts, and that's because it starts out very slow and uninteresting, but as things unfold and you take control of a new character after the first journey, it slowly gets more interesting. You start making connections, linking different characters, there is a bigger picture. Someone is manipulating the playable characters behind the scenes. You hear of immortality and the occult, how things are weird in this part of the West. And as I said before, the overall tone of the story is dark and mysterious, and it keeps you going, pushing you to find out more and more. When the curtains are pulled and the mystery is no longer a mystery, it all makes sense and clicks. The twists are very good and will make you guess throughout its very distinct 5 journeys that you play. Each journey will advance the main plot further, but the quests within the journey are also very personal to the character you are taking control. For example, the first one, the bounty hunter, will have you chasing an occult cannibal entity that has kidnapped your husband and killed your son. Whilst you are chasing this enemy, you'll learn more about your brand or mark and discover details about it. The personal stories or quests are all very well made, and all of them are unique to the character you are playing. There is no link in personal quests, so to say, to other characters you controlled. Overall, what I truly enjoyed was the themes of mystery and occult that this game offers. I think the story designers did very well in bringing those to the spotlight. On the next section we have progression systems. There is no level up screen in Weird West, there is no experience to speak of. Any stats boosts like more HP, arrow reload speed for your guns for example, are locked behind the so-called golden spades, which are found throughout the world of Weird West. You can find one, for example, sitting on a perch of someone's home, in the middle of a forest or a desert area. Weird West incentivizes the player to truly explore every location they visit, so you don't miss anything. Not exploring or looting means you won't be able to improve the stats of your character or posse. It's also worthy to mention that any used golden spades will be carried over to the next controllable character after you finish one journey. Same thing for items, inventory, guns, everything gets carried over as long as you recruit your previous playable character to your posse. Each playable character also has access to 4 unique abilities. In order to unlock those, the player will have to invest in imp relics, which, just like golden spades, will be wandering around the world map, and any location you visit might have one well hidden. Imp relics can also be used to unlock powerful abilities for your guns: shotgun, melee, pistol, bow, rifle, and they are quite fun to use. All in all, these systems are very simple, and what they offer are on the same vein, but it's a good implementation to force the player to actually explore and loot and not just speed run throughout the whole game. Combat. Combat is very simple. Although not quite common in games nowadays, it's on an isometric perspective and it's basically a twin-stick shooter. You can argue there are a lot of isometric twin-stick shooters, ARPGs basically, still coming out nowadays, but there is a bigger focus on the RPG and immersive mechanics on Weird West. It's like a combo of different genres under a single game. It can be very fun and chaotic, but also annoying sometimes, mostly because AI is not that good and aiming feels awkward. Hit registration is also a bit off. Sometimes you nail an enemy without a doubt, but it doesn't register. The different gun abilities at your disposal make the combat more enticing, but it's not enough in my opinion. What really sells it at the end are the unique abilities each character has. It will truly make combat more open and just pure chaos. Overall, it's a good enough implementation of an isometric twin-stick shooter, but nothing groundbreaking, nor does it try to reinvent the wheel. World and exploration. The world of Weird West accurately represents the themes that overflow the main story: occult, weirdness, and darkness. Once you step out of your farm in your first journey, you are presented to an entire map covered in fog. As you click on the map and supposedly travel it will unfog areas, revealing locations, can be towns, abandoned mines, or farms that are inhabited by outlaws, occult entities, or witches that are hostile to you. Conquering abandoned areas does not really do anything besides perhaps offering the player a golden spade or an imp relic to boost their perks and abilities. There is no experience, so you are not even encouraged to kill everyone on the map. You can literally stealth the entire way and loot everything while hidden. Overall, the locations you visit do resemble the West, and how buildings are placed to the oozing atmosphere that can be felt, aided by sound effects and soundtrack of course, truly represents well this area. I do however wish they had more unique areas. A lot of the locations that you visit, even new towns, are so similar to one another that if you wanted to name the town you have just been to, you probably couldn't. Truth is that they all look the same, right? And these transfers to mines, oases, farms, and other locations, it all feels and probably is procedurally generated. What is remarkable is that even though they do feel similar and border on repetition, these locations never fail to capture your attention with how well they are built and closely resemble the era they represent, Wild West. Soundtrack. You probably are hearing it as I'm speaking throughout this review. This is the main theme of the game. And I have to say, the soundtrack is incredible. It's hard to believe that sometimes AA or indie games have such stellar sound effects and overall music compared to super budgeted AAA games. The developers knew the themes that they wanted to portray here, and they clearly communicated well with the sound designers on what they wanted to achieve. Sounds are bleak, the main theme is so well done. If I had to assign a music to this game, a music that would represent Weird West 100% accurately, it would have been the main theme that you are listening to right now. It's on the main menu as you put the game, and for me, it's really well done. It really is well done. Now, difficulty and replayability. It took me 30 hours to beat Weird West, and I got all 53 achievements along with doing every side quest and bounty I could find across the 5 different journeys within the game. There are multiple difficulty options. You can tweak how much HP you regen by eating food or using bandages. If they also regen your AP, which you'll need for your abilities, be it guns or your controllable character abilities. You can tweak enemy detection, speed, damage, and health. Honestly, I don't think they matter. Harder difficulties mean spongier enemies basically. AI will instantly aggro onto you if they see you, whereas in lower difficulties they'll basically look at you for 4 seconds and then they aggro. AI is not very good, so it doesn't really matter. I went for the hardest one because I want some sense of challenge in every game I play. Replayability wise, I would say there is some short-term and long-term value. In each journey end, you need to make a choice, and those will affect your controllable character story. It doesn't really matter for the ending, because as you learn throughout the game, your characters are just basically pawns on what's really happening behind the scenes, and there are two endings basically, and you can get them both by reloading an autosave before the final confrontation in the end. If you value the different stories you'll witness with the characters you play as, I would say there is some replay value short term. Long term, as you forget the story, it will always be a solid choice to come back if you are feeling like playing a Wild West game, so to speak. For my final thoughts, overall, I think that Weird West did what it set out to do. It took some risks and clearly tried to innovate by mixing genres and have a mashup of different concepts and systems. I personally enjoyed it, but I do have some negative feelings towards the AI and how the combat system was designed. I think it could have been much better. Maybe Divinity Original Sin type of combat system would have worked wonders here, especially due to how immersive the story and world can feel. A good first game for Wolfeyestudios, with lots to improve, but still a good overall game for the studio. That's a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review on Weird West, and see you soon for a full review on Persona 5 Royal, which I've been playing for now over 100 hours, and some early thoughts on the Dead Space remake that's coming out this Friday. So look forward to it, and see you on the next one, guys. Bye.